I think, Adrian, I'm going to start setting up then.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go.
So I can just do a re-row while you set up your concept 2. Other ergos are available. Here's what we're doing if you haven't got it already. So it's 10 at 24, 3 minutes rest. 1 at 30, 3 minutes rest. 3 at 28, 3 minutes rest, and 6 at 26. So it's 10 minutes work, 3 minutes rest, 1 minute work, 3 minutes rest, 3 minutes work, 3 minutes rest, and 6 minutes. And then we're done. It's 29 minutes in total. So only 9 minutes of pure joy. So how are we doing? I can't unfortunately see everybody now for some reason, but
right, we ought to be starting in about 45 seconds.
Can you see people, Adrian?
Yeah,
Just to check
I
you
can.
some thumbs
Yeah.
up. Great. Okay. Good. I reckon I can do this if I press that button. Ah, there we go. Excellent. So how are we doing? People looking good. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us, by the way, if you just joined. Looking forward to this session.
Right,
got
so
enough for
we'll
about
start in 30 seconds.
4 each worth of us. Let's go out together. So 10 minutes off the blocks of rating 24, establishing that brilliant long rhythm, efficient rhythm. Here we go.
15 seconds. So we're going to start off paddling from Chiswick Bridge down towards Putney. 5 seconds.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go. Relaxed and smooth at 24. Coming away from Chiswick Bridge. And we're coming over the start line now. You've got Tideway Scullers Boat House on your right, on the Cox's left. That's where the University Post is, the end of the boat race course, the beginning of the head of the river. So we now want to be in the middle of the river. If there's a really strong stream, we will be perhaps a tiny bit outside of the middle of the river, towards the outer side of the bend. But most of the time, I'd say go right in the middle, or maybe even a tiny bit to the inside of the middle, all the way around this bend down to Barnes Bridge. And at race pace,
Already
we're
a
going to
minute.
get to Barnes Bridge in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're 1 minute in already. On race. It's nice. Let's check the rhythm.
For this second minute, we really focus on the rhythm. Just listen to the wheels beneath you. You want the wheels moving fast towards the bows, steady towards the stern, with a deliberate pause on the wheels at the back end.
Yeah. Nice and efficient.
Long and smooth, taking it one stroke at a time, finishing each one right out through the feet, and feeling that nice relaxed stretch off the back end. Up on the top of the bank on stroke side, going past what used to be Thames Tradesmen's Rowing Club. It's just been demolished. So there's a big pile of concrete up there, which is a shame. Hopefully they'll put something new in its place. And we're now going under Barnes Bridge. You want your bow side blades to be under the middle of the arch. So the shell itself is about 10 feet inside of the center of the arch. coming out from the big bridge, pointing about 10 degrees towards stroke side of perpendicular. We're now about a third of the way from stroke side shoreline, 2/3 away from bow side shoreline.
Middle of the beach now, long rhythm. Pick up and push. Pick up and push.
Next landmark coming up on stroke side again is the bandstand. Should be reaching that about 1 minute after Barnes Bridge. And you're staying 1/3 of the way off the stroke side shoreline. And we've now got a little straight for about 500 meters before we start the turn towards bow side, towards Chiswick Steps and Chiswick 8. Now we're thinking about consistency. In a race, I would fill in this part of the race by asking the crew to focus on 20 strokes of one particular technical focus, or maybe a minute. And then at the end of that, another technical focus for another minute. Do that for 5 pieces consecutively, and that will bring you all the way around towards Hammersmith Pier.
So let's do that. Let's have a technical focus from you, Adrian.
Okay, this next minute, let's think about holding the legs down and getting the body onto the front of the seat, holding the seat still and stretching over it. Go. We're thinking about the sequence of movement round the back turn. The arms extending first, the body following the arms. And then releasing the seat and the knees. We're now beginning the turn towards bow side. There's a line of moored boats on stroke side. We want to be going parallel to that line of boats, but with enough room for another 8 to be between us and them. Now, the next minute, we're going to think about letting the boat come to us on the recovery. So the recovery is relaxed and passive. If you're on sliders, you're allowing the feet to come to you. If you're on a concept 2 with fixed feet, you visualize the boat bringing the feet to you. As we're coming away from that line of moored boats over on stroke side, there's still room for one other 8 between us and them. And that sets you up for a straight line down Chiswick 8. You're more or less in the middle of the river between the visible shore of Chiswick 8 and the bank on bow side. Possibly a tiny bit nearer to the 8 than right in the centre.
push on now.
On that straight, and really think about attacking with length and power. Just under a minute and a half left. So another technical focus now is to get hold of that front end with the legs, the arms and the shoulders relaxed, loose and long for the last minute. We're just pushing the legs in the first quarter of the drive. Go. Nice. Keeping the shoulders relaxed right up to the end of the piece. Paddle light. 3 minutes off. Well done, everyone. Let's keep the legs moving.
Ah, good work. That's quite hard. So, good job. One thing I find helpful when I'm starting to hurt a bit is to think about how this is where I want to be. You know, I want to be in that position where I'm not sure the second half of the race is possible. I'm on the edge of it, but I'm switched on enough to be thinking about the technique, the length and the rhythm. So I've got to be rowing well. I just tell my body that you work for me. So separate the mind and the body. The body's going, I'm not sure I can do this. The mind's going, yep, this is the task. And that's what Adrian's doing with all of us as well. He's being the executive function. So as we get tired, we've got that voice just telling us what we can do. Oh, good job. So now we've got just 1 minute in amongst 6 minutes of rest. So what are we going to do with this? Nice and quick movements.
Let's do a minute at 30, which is basically just 3 times 10. And we'll do it coming down past the bottom end of Chiswick 8, past the blue doors, which is halfway down the course. And we'll do it as a move to overtake another boat. We haven't yet talked about other boats being in the race, but obviously there's going to be quite a lot of them. Hopefully you'll get the chance to overtake several and not get overtaken by any.
Yeah, and you know, overtaking is sometimes you move up very quickly on the boat and then you're alongside and it seems to stick for ages. Maybe they're challenging you for stream, but also they're lifting the game. And the trick is to just be confident and keep doing our thing, just pushing it along, listening to Adrian.
Do your own thing.
Sticking. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be going in 25 seconds.
Let's get straight into rate 30 if we can, not too much higher above it.
Yeah.
See if we can get the average rate 30 for the piece.
15 seconds. 10.
Here we go.
5 seconds, 1 minute at 30, starting in 2, 1, go. Right, now we're in a race. We've got an overlap on a boat out of the stream, on stroke side. We're right in the right place and we're cutting straight through them. half a length overlap. Moving really quickly on them. We're almost level. 30 seconds to go. I'm now level with their cocks. Just keep pushing through. Every stroke long and smooth, long and hard. Our rhythm. Our rhythm. That's it. Swing. Focus on the legs on the beginning. Down. Good. Well done.
Oh,
Again, just keep the legs moving a few strokes.
good job, team. I really feel the power there.
You will definitely find, if you are in the stream and you're overtaking boats which are way out of the stream, that you will be moving much, much faster than them.
Okay, so I'm just tuning in mentally now for the next piece. So what did I do well in that last piece? I liked the speed of movement. I was getting a nice long rhythm listening to Adrian. I'm going to take that into the next piece, which is 3 minutes, 3 at 28. So got a couple of pips in hand to just breathe more, but I want to try to keep the same dynamism that I had in the 30. Keep it dynamic, keep the boat tapping along and running between strokes with a little bit more room to breathe. So this is the key piece for me. Anybody can survive the last piece, but this is the one where quality and focus is really going to count for us.
We'll start this next piece as we come up to St. Paul's Boathouse on bow side, on the Surrey bank. And then we'll be going underneath that second lamppost from the buttress under Hammersmith Bridge after about a minute and a half. And then the second minute and a half will take us down past Harrods Repository, also on the Surrey bank.
And Adrian, maybe let's have a sort of push for 10 on the legs at about 2 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Come under the bridge. We've seen the bridge behind us. We're just pushing on.
Yeah, we push away from the bridge. Always useful to do that with each of the bridges. Do it with Barnes as well.
30 seconds. So 3 at 28. Dynamic. Keeping it really focused as we get tired.
$15 seconds. 10. 5 seconds. 3 at 28 in 2, 1, go. Straight on to 28 now, coming past St. Paul's Boathouse over on your left, on bow side. And at this point, we're in the middle of the river. Think about being dynamic at both ends. Quick legs and then quick hands. Now coming past Hammersmith Pier on your right, on stroke side. And we're still in the middle of the river, but we're sliding very, very subtly towards bow side. So we're lining up to go under that second lamppost on Hammersmith Bridge. And as we come under the bridge, we're already pointing about 10 degrees to the right, to bow side of perpendicular. You're going to start hearing the noise of all the spectators on the bridge shouting for you. Coming towards the bridge, going to make the next 10 catches nice and quick. Go. Nice quick connection. Think about that leg drive. Good. Coming under the bridge. Bow side blades under that second lamppost. And the next 10, we're going to squeeze the finish. Go. Squeezing away from the bridge. At 28. Long and solid. Squeezing with the shoulders. Good. Now you've got the big Harrods repository building on Bowside, on the Surrey shore. We're now a third of the way off the Surrey shore, Bowside shore. Coming into the silence, moving away from the bridge, focus on long rowing. Paddle light. Well done. 3-4 minutes rest.
Really good, that one. Well done. Gonna try and keep moving. Oh. Well done, everyone. A bit of water, a bit of stretching. Adrian, in the last piece then, so it's the last 6 minutes, I think I'm going to request a little bit more in the way of technique and motivational input to get us through it.
Yeah.
As we fade. So navigation's great, but let's start to really think about how we hold it together.
Yeah.
The bit where you make the real difference when other people are fatigued and you hold your form and the crew's rowing the boat efficiently to get it out of fat.
Yeah, so we'll really focus on that from the milepost in. So that'll be after about 2 minutes.
Great.
That last 4 minutes will break down into 1 minute chunks and then finally 30-second chunks.
Well done, everyone. Great stuff. Good pieces. So it's 6 minutes at 26. And after the higher rate piece, we're going to, again, really just think about length and power. Really efficient, got a bit more time to breathe and recover between strokes. Let's make sure we do think about that rest. So we're sort of pushing hard and then really loosely resting. No effort on the way forward. So we push and run as hard as we can. 1 minute to go. Oh, it's still quite warm here. Lovely. Okay, this is the only piece. What can we do? So 15 seconds.
This one's at 26. We're starting at the bottom end of Harrods. Starting in 5, 2, 1, go. Right, getting into the rhythm now on 26. This is the bit that used to be called the graveyard, where a lot of crews will just die around you. We're not going to. You're in a crew that's going to push on through this and pick off the stragglers. Going to be lots of people all around you, out of the stream. They don't know where they're supposed to be. We're right where we want to be. 1/3 of the way off the Surrey bank. Coming past the Crabtree pub over on stroke side. It's well hidden, so you probably won't see it, but that's where you are. Coming down the Crabtree reach. On 26. Keeping it consistent this next minute. Long and strong. Long and strong. Each stroke. Each power curve just the same. Good job. All the time we're moving on all those other crews around you. You might be able to see crews behind that you're moving away from, and your cocks will be telling you about the crews that you are catching. They'll be dotted all over the river. You're in the right place, moving faster than any of them. Now we're coming towards the milepost, big obelisk on the Surrey bank. Can be quite difficult to find in amongst all the trees, but we're going past it now. We've got a mile to go. So this next minute, let's focus on solid, long finishes. Go. Solid, long, creating a good platform to build off later. Pushing the legs right down and keeping the legs engaged until you release the seat again. So you keep the pressure on the feet after you've released the water. That's it. That basic sequencing of movement. Arms away, body over, and then release the legs. Right, we're now halfway between the milepost and the black buoy. Next minute, we focus on pushing the legs down at the finish. 26 strokes. Go. Pushing the legs down. Keep that pressure on the footboard. Still moving on a lot of other crews all around you, every single stroke. Moving away from the ones you can see, catching the ones that your cox is telling you about in front of you. Coming away from Barn Elms on the apex of the bend. And we're now coming towards the black buoy. 2 minutes to go.
Let's push.
So now we're going to push with the legs. Go. One stroke at a time. Because you're tired now, it's very easy to cut corners. We are not doing that today. We're pushing each stroke right out. Deep, long, and solid. On 26, coming down the Putney embankment. You've got room for one more 8 between you and the moored boats. You're exactly where you want to be, right in the stream. Keep pushing those legs down, one at a time. Your final landmark is London Rowing Club with 1 minute to go. Coming past London. Now, here we go. Building boat speed with the legs. Legs. That's it. Okay, now each stroke from now to the finish line, you try and get that split down lower. We're going to bring in the backs on the second half of the drive. On this one, go. Yeah, come on, push it. That's it. Heads up now. Strong. Strong finish. Push on. Down. Great job, everyone. Well done. Keep the legs moving. I know you don't want to right now, but keep the legs moving. Got to get all that lactate out to the muscles.
Well done. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was good. Really thought I was going to struggle. Feel good about pushing through that. Great calls, Adrian.
Thank you.
Really kept us focused. For me, those kind of calls just very simple, super clear. Got time to put it into practice. Keep reminding of it. It was really good. Keeps the length, keeps the focus on the boat speed. Oh, well done, everybody. So do share what you felt about the piece, anything you took away from it, anything you learned, any little positives. And also, if you want to have a bit of a chat, some great questions just before we started about how you steer, how you pace, how you stroke a boat, different ways of approaching the head. We're happy to chat. So just come off mute or type if you want to share, like what worked for you today, any PBs or any good lessons learned, any questions you want to ask us or any of the assembled brains trust here. Hi.
Thanks, guys. I've got to go. That was fun. In inverted commas.
Excellent.
Thanks for
Any
joining.
big takeaways? Thanks. Oh. Oh. Well done, everybody.
Really good steering tips, Adrian. Thank you for those.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you for coming back to us. Yes, well done, Judith, getting through it after COVID. It's quite hard coming back here, but keep it steady and just trust the process, haven't you? Thanks, Nigel. 10136. I haven't done the session for a while, but I have to say it's one of my favourites as well. It's got everything, hasn't it?
And a PB on the 1 minute.
Good stuff.
Nigel.
Good stuff. Hot tonight. Yeah, sometimes I think this amount of hot actually is quite good. Too hot and you kind of struggle, but when it's a bit warmer, maybe a bit looser a bit earlier on if you're older like me. Good stuff, David. Looking forward to racing you. Yeah, it does help to visualize. If you know the track a bit, you could really feel that you're I could almost smell the wet mud coming past St. Paul's there. And also that thing about the graveyard, I do remember that feeling. The first time I ever did the head in 19-something in a restricted 8. I remember I remember basically thinking I needed to go to hospital around Harrods.
Which is why Charing Cross is there.
It's very convenient.
That's
why they built
waiting.
it. That's why they built it, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Judith is going to be marshalling.
Supposed to be building my confidence up. This talk of hospitalisation is not really helping you.
No, but that's what we're just saying. That's before Zoom Ergos. Now I don't have any problem with that at all. But there is something in it, that thing about, I find anyway, that thing about your mind and your body, and just kind of when your body's starting to scream at you, just go, no, you work for me. I can do this. And just push it through the process. It's, I find that helpful anyway. Maybe that's just talking to myself though.
It was really good seeing your movement, Matt, when I was, because this is the first time I've done a high rating for a while. So just sometimes I was losing it and I thought, right, just get with Matt, just get with Matt.
Oh,
so thank you. Thank you.
I find it good actually when I do these sessions, watching somebody else, having the side shot is quite nice because you can try to just follow a little bit. I'm lucky as well because I'm on a dynamic, so it's a bit easier for me. But thanks, I like the feedback. There's a good discussion before as well about like how you stroke an 8 through a head race. And you're absolutely right, there are different styles, aren't there? Different people have different approaches, but I just think that the distance is such, you've got to set a pattern up that's going to make the guys behind you or the women behind you be able to perform at their best. And that's, you know, I really like the dynamic of how stroke and cox, how you communicate, often with the slightest of grimaces through a race. Adrian was saying he's raced the head race course probably 30 odd times. I remember one time when we started as a new entry, I think for Molesey, starting about 38 and having to overtake probably 15 boats. It's the only time I've seen Adrian genuinely look scared as we were like just slaloming around all these people. He was very politely inviting them to get out of the way, as you can imagine. But what's it like as a cox, Adrian? Is that more fun than a kind of starting number one and trying to fight everybody up behind you?
Yeah, definitely. It's more challenging, you know, and if you do a good job, I think it's more rewarding to you know, negotiate other crews and to be able to talk your way through them and use them as stepping stones to help your crew to keep going and to keep pushing and to keep sort of on that mythical red line that we talk about. You know, I don't want to imply that the oarsmen are no more than mindless engines, because you're certainly not at all, but you want to have that feeling of being on the red line on a rev counter, feeling that you can't really go beyond that, but if you're below it, then you're not really pushing as hard as you can.
Yeah, I also think it's a real art when you're doing lots of overtaking and steering and calculating the course to keep some calmness in your voice so the oarsmen or oarswomen don't feel tense. You know, there's a real art to kind of navigating chaos while keeping everybody focused and calm, which is what you want.
I remember Jürgen once said to me back in the early 90s when he started coaching at Leander, he said, Adrian, use the voice.
Yes.
And he basically meant, you know, it's the tone of your voice. If you sound panicky, then the crew are going to get panicky as well.
Just looking at some of the...
You just talk, and maybe you want to be exciting, but not panicky.